All right, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about how to find the right life insurance for you, depending on your age and what's going on in your life, but without making it super complicated or expensive. So, first things first, let's just bust a huge myth. A lot of people think life insurance has to cost a fortune. But honestly, that's usually only true if you buy way too much, wait too long to get it, or pick the wrong kind of policy. And here's the key thing to remember. The goal of life insurance is not to make your family millionaires overnight. Nope. It's all about creating a financial safety net, so they can keep living their life, paying the bills, staying in the house, if you're not around anymore. It's about security, not a lottery ticket. A lot of people start this whole process backward. They ask themselves, okay, how much can I afford to pay every month? But that's not really the best way to figure it out. We need to flip that question around. The real question, the one you should be asking, is this. How much would my family actually need if I were gone? When you start thinking about what's really needed, to cover the mortgage, pay off any debts, and replace your income for a few years, then you can figure out the exact amount of coverage you need, and not a penny more. Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting. Your insurance needs are not a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. They totally change as you get older. What you need in your 20s is way different from what you'll need in your 60s. So let's break it down decade by decade. If you're in your 20s or 30s, listen up, because you are in the absolute sweet spot. This is hands down the best time to get life insurance. Why? Because you're young, you're probably healthy, and you can lock in some seriously low rates for a very, very long time. For this age group, a long-term policy, we're talking 30 or even 40 years of term life insurance, is usually the perfect move. It's simple, and it is incredibly cheap. You basically lock in a super low payment for decades, which means your future family is protected from losing your income even before you have kids or a house. All right, now let's talk about your 40s. For a lot of us, this is when you're hitting your peak earning years. The mortgage might be bigger, the kids are getting closer to college age, and your income is higher, so there's a lot more to protect. A 20 or 30-year term policy is still going to be your best friend here to make sure that income is protected. But your 40s are also when some people, especially high earners, start thinking about policies that have a savings part to them. Something like an indexed universal life policy. This can be a cool strategy because it gives you for death benefit, but it also lets you build up a separate pot of money, the cash value, that can grow without being taxed right away, and you can use it for retirement. Now, once you hit your 50s, the whole conversation really starts to change. Those cheap term insurance rates, they're starting to climb, and you might be thinking less about temporary coverage and more about something that will last for the rest of your life. And this is where a policy called a Guaranteed Universal Life, or GUL, really shines. Just think of it like a permanent insurance plan, but without all the expensive bells and whistles of a traditional whole life policy. It's designed to do one job really well, guarantee a payout when you pass away, and that makes it way more affordable. Okay, so what happens when you get into your 60s, 70s, and beyond? Well, your needs usually get a lot more focused. The main goal is often just to make sure you have a policy that will absolutely positively be there in the end, without any risk of it expiring right when you need it. So for this stage of life, a dual policy that's set to last until you're 90 or older is a really solid choice. Another option is what's called a final expense policy. It's basically a small whole life policy, and its only job is to cover things like burial costs, final medical bills, or any small debts you might leave behind. It just makes sure those costs don't become a burden for your family. So we've talked a lot about when to get insurance, but what about the what? There are a bunch of different types of policies out there, and each one is basically a different tool for a different job. Think of this as your quick cheat sheet. First up, term life. Like we said, it's cheap, it's simple, perfect for young families. But remember, it does expire. Next, Guaranteed Universal, the GUL. That gives you lifetime coverage for a set price, which is great for seniors, but you won't build much cash value. Then there's Indexed Universal, or IUL. That's for higher earners who want that tax-deferred growth we talked about, but you have to keep funding it. Whole life is the classic. It's for leaving a legacy, has guaranteed cash value, but it's also the most expensive option. And finally, final expense. It's a smaller policy, easier to get approved for, and it's designed specifically for those end-of-life costs. So you can see there's no single best policy, just the one that's best for your goal. And that's really the perfect way to look at it. Instead of only thinking about your age, think about the specific financial job you need your life insurance to do. So, is your main goal just to replace your income for 20 years while the kids grow up? That is a job for term life. Do you want to leave a guaranteed tax-free inheritance? Well, that sounds like a job for a GUL or a whole life policy. You always want to match the tool to the job you're trying to do. And it's really important to know when life insurance might not be the right tool. Life insurance is designed to provide a death benefit for other people. An annuity, on the other hand, is designed to provide a guaranteed stream of income for you, an income that you can't outlive. So if your biggest worry is running out of money in retirement, an annuity is probably what you should be looking into. Okay, so after all of that, what's the next step for you? The most important thing is to focus on getting exactly what you need and nothing more. Look, if you remember just one thing from all this, please let it be this. The goal is not to buy the best or the biggest policy out there. The goal is to buy the right amount of insurance that truly keeps your family secure, for a price that actually fits into your budget. Trying to sort through all these options can feel like a lot, I get it, but it really doesn't have to be. Getting some professional guidance can make all the difference, helping you compare different policies from different companies so you can find the perfect fit. Here at The Annuity Expert, we can help you do just that. We'll help you compare all the quotes and policies to find the best value for you, and the best part is, our services are always completely free to use. So if you're ready to find a policy that's tailored for your specific needs, just reach out to us. We can answer all your questions and help you lock in the right coverage for your family's future. Taking this one simple step today can give you and your loved ones peace of mind for years to come.